Taurus, this June, Saturn, the Lord of Responsibility, is returning to a place where it tried to teach us all a lesson for 2.5 years. And your lesson was all about relationships. Did you learn it? Here are some of your June highlights. Family and home mean a lot to you this month as Venus, your ruler, is exciting your home area. We also have positive financial change that you feel great about. You can see finally the wood from the trees and relationships become more solid. Here's your June astrology. Taurus, June kicks off with a massive full moon. And actually this full moon is called the honeymoon or the rose moon. And in a way that's quite appropriate because it's poking some of your primal emotions. And it's a bit like we're reminded of the time when we fall madly in love with someone and we're in the madness of love, where we feel obsessional and jealous and we're checking our phone every time. You may be thinking, hang on, Michele Knight, I've never fallen in love like that, but you catch my drift. It's that primal feeling. And this full moon is dragging to the surface some of those deep emotions that maybe you've forgotten about. Perhaps it's a feeling of obsession, perhaps it's a feeling of desire, perhaps it's a feeling of not wanting to be powerless in a situation, or even feeling a bit paranoid that you are powerless in a situation. Now remember, full moon's energy lasts about 3 days, sometimes a bit longer, but generally that kind of massive emotional storm happens and it's, you know, not going to be for the whole month, but it's happening for a reason. And actually the positive side of this full moon is that it gives you a tremendous amount of wisdom, intuition, and possibly a strange synchronicity. Know that you're powerful and know that actually no one can take your power away except you. It's what our mind does, it's what we think, it's the assumptions we make often that make ourselves feel powerless rather than an external situation. And actually we have the choice in how we react to all things. There should be some deep wisdom and a message from this full moon. So really, really, really pay attention around the second to what's coming up for you, particularly from your unconscious and your dreams. Now Venus, your ruler, is shifting signs on the 5th and it's entering your position of home and family. You'll suddenly feel that you want to make connections connected to your home and family. Now, I'm not a fatalistic astrologer. I believe the point of looking into astrology is that you can kind of take advantage of the energy that's going on. And this energy is fabulous if you want to move home, or you want to redecorate, or you want to be in love and make someone a meal. It gives you really intimate times in front of or within your home environment. But it also allows you to see the world with beauty and be very kind of nourishing and kind and warm and at your very, very best. It's a beautiful thing. You might find someone else being quite mothering towards you. Now we have Mercury, the planet of communication, who's been causing us all a little bit of chaos, finally going direct on the 11th. You might have noticed that it's affected you in terms of your finances or your sense of stability in the world. All of a sudden, Mercury shifting takes a few days to kick in, but generally, if you've been waiting for something to happen around work, around finance, this is the time when things all appear a little bit clearer. And you could say to yourself, phew, now I can talk about things that I'm going to be listened to and I can get things underway. And you're feeling very strong when it comes to finances and you're feeling very powerful, and you should feel mid-month that you can make some positive changes in those areas. We have a Sun and a Mars exact conjunction actually in that energy. Now that's a great thing because it gives you power, it charges you up, it gives you confidence. But be careful because it can, Mars being the old lord of war, can create you maybe being too passionate or getting into an argument about something or kind of losing your temper, losing your cool. So try and make yourself calm and zen when discussing money things, but don't lose your drive and passion. Neptune, the Lord of Illusion and the Lord of Dreams, is allowing you to look at something from your past connected to the people in your life that are in groups. So, and the ideas that you relate to, and actually your place in this one consciousness. And there may be times when I have Taurians very close to me. My mother was a Taurian, my son's a Taurian, my best friend's a Taurus. And so I understand Taurus, I think, quite deeply. And there's a part of you that actually most people don't realise is actually very idealistic. You have the greatest faith in ideas and you have the greatest faith in humanity. You may be stubborn and you may come across like that sometimes, but deep in your Taurus heart, you want to believe in life's wonders. This Neptune experience is going to allow you actually to go backwards and look at some of your ideas and which ones were realistic and which ones weren't. And it could give you a bright idea to put some positive input into the world. It's exciting and it kind of opens up your spirit. Now, similar thing is happening in a way with Saturn. Saturn is going back to a place it was before, and it's going there for 3 months, but it's reminding you of something that you had to go through and learn for 2.5 years. And the focus of Saturn, Lord of Responsibility, was some kind of restriction or some message connected to your intimate relationships, your personal relationships, your romantic relationships, but also your relationship to yourself in the way that you relate to other people. And Saturn is now coming back round to say, have you learnt that lesson? Did you do your homework? And if not, you may be shaken up in that area. But actually, it's possibly to do with commitment. How easy do you find it to commit in relationships? Well, if you're a Taurus, probably quite easy because you like things that are stable. But, is there a part of you that has a fear of intimacy? And when you're in a relationship, maybe you don't share as much as of yourself as you did when you were in the honeymoon. Saturn is going to go poke, poke, poke. Let's dig around and find out what's really going on. I advise you to learn the lesson. But the good news is, if you have learnt the lesson and you've done your homework, there should be a wonderful surprise in store and a reward from Saturn. And that's the good news about Saturn. Now we have a new moon on the 16th. I love a new moon. If you've listened to my videos before, you know that I think they're very profound things because they help us let go of the past and they help us shift our energy and move on to the next vibrational level. And that's exactly what you're going to do, and it's connected to finances. Now, to really make the most of it, you have to understand what patterns have maybe held you back, blocked you, or what thoughts, what belief systems have kind of made it tricky for you to move forward when it comes to your finances. Even if you're a billionaire or, you've got loads of money, it doesn't make any difference. It's a primal thing, money. Money isn't like a tangible bit of paper. It's actually energy, and it affects all of us. Obviously we need money to live, we need money to feed ourselves, and it can bring up very strong emotions. What is it within you that needs to shift and change, and what can you let go of? If you let go of it, it's a surge forward, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I feel that there's a great potential for you financially this month. Now the Sun and Mars are shifting signs at the end of the month, and you feel much more passionate about communicating. Sometimes Taurians can be a bit of a hermit, and towards the end of the month or around the kind of 21st and 24th, you'll suddenly feel that you want to communicate, you want to get your ideas out there, and you have passionate things to say. All in all, actually, it's a passionate month. I send you much love, take care, and I'll speak to you soon. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, it would be great if you could subscribe to my channel or share. And also, if you want more written and in-depth free astrology and films, go to my website, horoscope.co.uk.